Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Legion Lads. I am your host, JR. Today we got Nick and Jose.
Hello,
How's it
hello.
going, guys?
Yo. I have to start off with LJ, I'm sorry. You've proved me wrong, sir, and I happily and humbly take this L. I
Honestly,
definitely I definitely got to buy him a beer. I will buy you I will buy you a bucket of beer next year when I'm there. So
did he
save this clip.
did he tell you that?
Huh?
Did he tell you to buy him a beer?
No, I'm offering.
You know, it's
I saw
funny.
the I saw the numbers on the Facebook post for the
Mm,
two events, and I'm
yeah,
like, yeah, I'm totally wrong.
yeah.
But
It's funny.
maybe it's just LVO. All right, maybe it's just LVO.
What's funny is that when I was talking to him, he's just like, "Yeah, I'll accept the apology from Jose with the beer."
Oh, I had no
I know
clue.
I didn't tell you because I was just like, let's not ruffle any feathers here.
No,
Uh,
I just know I like I said, I've the first year I wanted to do a bucket of beer because I saw one of my opponents with the bucket, but I was told in the Discord that, that wasn't allowed. I was like, okay, whatever. But then like we all leave and there's like a freaking fort of beer buckets going to the roof, and I'm like, wait, what? So then the last year Roman was like, "Nah, f this. We're doing a bucket of beer, and I'm playing Beer Legion." And fucking, sorry, Nick, Robin, and Roman are just playing freaking Beer Legion, and freaking Ryan's walking by like, "Ha ha, it's a good time," and I'm just like, "What?" So now I'm like, I'm wrong. I gotta own it. And LJ, sir, you are getting a bucket of beer from me
Yeah.
next
which is
year.
which is kind of comforting because all we really have to draw on is our community here, and unfortunately our community is kind of small. And recently this year they've been transitioning to other games that they rather play. So knowing that the game is growing outside of our community, which obviously I knew it was, but in the matter of like the broader sense of things, um it's just like cool. The game that I love is still going strong, and I love that. And it's just like, okay, let's just try to wheel it back in for our community, which honestly, burnout's a thing. These new rules were a thing. So, and everything we talked about previously, we don't need to keep bringing that up.
Waiting for the
Uh,
full game.
yeah, yeah, waiting for the full game. But we'll see a resurgence of Nick coming back. Although Nick, transitioning, Rob earlier today dropped some breakdown of the players that what faction they're playing. Are you a
hmm
little shocked by this, by GT in general? For the audience
Wait,
that
that
doesn't,
wasn't Rob. That was me.
was that you? My bad, my bad, my bad.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got my sources wrong.
Well,
Oh, no. I just
n
said I got done looking at that.
My bad.
And my exact post was I said the difference between the GT and the LVOIS structure, like faction wise, is wild. I said all the sweats are in the LVOIS because you can tell by the little grid, Rebels going crazy. Like that's all Rebel jank. That's all gonna be that Nick's gonna be among that swamp of Rebel players enjoying the game, while you
no,
guys are just 10 tons of freaking sweat while just trying to get that title.
yeah. So no, it wasn't surprising. 'Cause remember, I actually brought that up. I said, I wonder if because there's not less on the line, but just there it's just going to be naturally a little less competitive than the other tournament.
Mhm.
That will I see different lists, right? I kind of said, well, will I probably actually play more fun lists with the opponents I see because there's just not that extra edge that's going to be there that you have to win it all. And I think that breakdown really showed that, especially with the Empire,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Especially with the Empire player. The Empire players were had just as many as any other faction in the GT, but their number was way down with the IS. And for the most part, most people do say Empire's the weaker faction
Mhm.
right now, and I think that's that kind of showing with that disparity in the differences of factions. It was
So,
much more even the GT. It was really lopsided in the IS.
so are you finally admitting that Shadow Collective is a battle force?
I don't mind saying Shadow Collectives of Battle. I just think they should be a faction.
Because I'm
Yeah.
assuming this green symbol means mercenaries, or
No,
it,
I think that only means Shadow Collective. I'm
Yeah, it's
pretty
Shadow
sure.
Collective.
That's not the Shadow Collective symbol, though. Am I wrong? Or is that,
Hmm.
you know,
Well,
I thought,
the thing about Longshanks is like when you look at like some other games, some of the other factions like don't have symbols, they just have like initials or something. So that
yeah,
could just be like a placeholder that they couldn't get the faction
Yeah.
icon on there.
yeah.
Because I
I
could be
mean,
wrong. I could be wrong. Could be have changed by now, but I thought even Ewoks still showed as rebels when you played Ewoks, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
that's what I was interested in. I was like, is this green symbol
Those are all
being
Ewok lists, the 31.
that'd be hilarious. No, I thought that maybe the symbol represented battle forces. I don't know, man. I think you're right. Shadow Collective has to be represented somewhere in this, and that might be it.
Yeah, it
Um,
has to be because like there's no way that there's like
I honestly think
a Shadow Collective.
Shadow Collective is the worst faction, right?
How? It
For
doesn't
non
seem like the game was affected by like didn't
I,
affect
I
anything.
think no one's playing it right now. That's
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know if they're the worst, but they're the ones that nothing has changed. You haven't got
Mhm.
anything new. It's very stale, right? I mean,
But
they've literally have received nothing since
but their
they
output
came out.
their output should be better now
But
because
I don't
the cover changes and all that
it's
It's
stuff.
not on
I
a larger scale, right? A lot of people are not playing Shadow Collective because, like what Nick said, they're not getting anything new. And it's just like, I feel like this is the Wild West and everyone's trying everything. And so we're seeing all these high numbers with the other factions because they're completed factions and there's more things. Where Shadow Collective is just kind of like dormant. No one's really playing it. And I think it's been slept on because I think Shadow Collective is really strong.
I
But
think they're gonna be with this set. They're really strong because like you think about when people were talking about like when you look at like the Empire's DLTs, like that's kind of like a mini sniper without the pierce because the whole cover changed now. Well, you can have tons of that with pikes with their range 4 impact guns. Then like this game's centered around rushing these points and killing things. Well, Black Sun can kill damn near almost anything they put their guns on, and then the prime real estate for Death Watch because they're the best Mandos in the game. They got their speed 3, their range 2 guns, all that tech they have, and I just think that people are. I don't know. I guess it is people don't want to play old stuff, but I feel like if people actually played stuff like that, I think they would be be on the come up. I feel
yeah.
like a lot of the stuff that you see on like for instance like the LVOIS, like that's just the most of that, like 80% of that's probably like the tried and true tested, EX cheese, tried and true tested Anakin Gar, tried and true tested Ewoks. Like I feel like that's because it's a big giant tournament. Whereas when you look at like the event for the GTs, like you see the green go up a little bit because those people are like, this looks fun. So it's kind of like a almost like a inverse because we look at the LVOIS, there's only 25 in total between Empire and Rebels, and then you look at Empire and Rebels are 62. Like that's crazy
Yeah,
for the
there's
auction.
always been lesser players in the Shadow Collective, right? It's never had a huge number in any of the tournaments. So the fact that's low, that they haven't had any changes, they haven't received any new models, because even if it is good, I mean, at least from my perspective, it would get a little boring after a
sure.
while, right? To stick to it and everything. So um, take that in consideration as well. And there are probably some better options somebody could play. Because most likely anyone out there that has a Shadow Collective army had something else, right? They've probably already had
Yeah.
another
Well,
army that they were
everybody did
playing.
at one time, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like when I, getting a new player into Legion, you want to show my actual faction. I feel like Shadow Collective is unique in that you have to be really good at the game in order to like run it because of all the special rules and caveats it has. So it's definitely not your first army you're
No.
running, in my opinion, for a new player. But like what I find interesting about both these is the IS and the GT, is that the GT screams to me, let me try this fun list. Like they're all bringing fun lists. Like it seems like the Rebel players are bringing fun lists, the Empire player are bringing fun lists. And the IS is definitely that more competitive edge, but like they're definitely trying to play the best list, which arguably is Republic right now. And in my opinion, I've always thought Republic has been undercosted. I just they always felt too strong for the points. and you need to increase those bad boys up, in my opinion. But also the IS is invitational, right? So there's not going to be a big number in that tournament to start off with.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how many get invited up after day one. It's going to be a numbers game, right? So there's going to be some of those people in the GT that probably will be joining the IS.
Yeah.
The wild cards.
What do you think, Jose? What do you think about this breakdown for both these factions or tournaments? I'm sorry.
No, it's like we said, like the people in the GTs are gonna have not to say that the LVOS players don't have fun. It's just that their fun, somebody on a super competitive level, their fun is a lot different than the people that are just there for the event and have their own little thing to do. Um, Speaking from experience, like the first year we went to LVO, like I was playing doubles or not doubles. I was playing Ryan through a
Conventional warfare,
event.
right?
Yeah, unconventional warfare. And I was having a blast. Like man, that was so fun. And I look over and I see JR just I'm like, oh, he's arguing with somebody. I'm cool. So it's like I get it. Like, but like it's I mean, LVOS champs is gonna be like a skills test because all the guys who we expect to be there are gonna be there, and then you're gonna have guys that come out from left field. I don't know if they're going, but Lila coming out of left field, against Luke Cook that one year. Dave Grant coming out of left field, shocking. Like Dave Grant's list, we read on the way to that LVO, and the lads in the ladder wagon, we were like, this guy's fucking crazy. Like, what is this? And we couldn't wrap our heads around it. And then the dude just starts bodying people so bad he becomes a meme. So you're always gonna have those people that come out of left field, and it's like, well, it's crazy, but that stuff you're gonna see a lot of when it comes to the GT because everybody's like Empire barely lately has had like close to no pulse anywhere, and then you go to an event like this where there's a side event where you could bring 22 act Empire and you're just chilling, and you're having fun with. I don't know why you would carry that many models. That does not seem fun, and I'm saying that as a CIS player. But
That
I'm
definitely
sad.
seems fun. What are you talking about? Having
Looking,
more models on the table?
no,
Yes,
I don't want to.
please.
No.
No, my tin trash can lunch pail
Yeah.
can only hold so
Yeah,
much.
your Power
But you
Rangers.
see
Yeah.
it fits my GAR perfectly because I'm like
Hmm.
nine activations, decent models. But you've seen when I crack that bad boy open and it's like B1's on the ground, B1's on the side, bikes sticking out, bikes going sideways. It's like I gotta commit a little bit more. But
That's always been my goal, is to demoralize my opponent by seeing how many minis I have on the field, and they're just like, I can't shoot through all that. You win. I'm like, yes, I
yeah,
do.
no, that's so
Good
dumb.
luck.
But seeing this makes me sad that I'm not going because I looking at the flavor that's gonna be experienced in just the GTs, bro, like that. Like I said in the group chat, like it makes it not going this year hurt even more, dude. That would have been hella fun
Yeah,
to
I was
be
gonna
in.
say, you guys, if you would have went to the GT, it looks like Nick and John are gonna have a lot of fun. Like that seems like a lot of, like,
Well,
it's
you
always
saw
fun to
you
play a fun list against a fun list. Just someone trying something new. Is it gonna work? I don't know. We'll find out today.
Well, you
Or,
saw the list I was running with CIS, like with Grievous and
Mm.
Dooku. Like I was ready to do some weird shenanigans.
or just the fact that they're playing what they want to play. Like that's what I kind of see from these numbers. And we don't know exactly, but this tells me that people are bringing what they wanted to bring and they're going to try and make it work as best they can versus having to like, oh, I got to bring this instead because that's the best list.
And
So
that's kind of where, like, I know I'm super competitive and I want to be in the competitive league anyways, but it is kind of like demoralizing a little bit. It's just like, man, everyone's bringing the same list. Like that's what this screams to me, as far as like seeing all the guard players. It's just like, that's so boring. You know what I mean? Like, I used to Blizzard Force my second year of LVO. I faced three Blizzard Force players, and it was just so boring because it's like, I know what you want to do, I know what you're trying to do, and unfortunately, the last opponent, which was Kyle, got me, and I was just like, oh, it sometimes it makes for a boring experience, but that's expected when you go to competitive.
yeah, at least now the game is more varied. So even though you
Sure.
might play the same list a couple times, the missions and the fact that they even haven't been out that long, you're still going to have some variation in those games, much more so than we did before.
Let's take a wager. How many Anakins are we going to see in the IS out of these 21 players? What do you think, Jose? Give me a
I
number.
mean,
Out of the 21 Gar players in IS, how many Anakins are going to be?
well, let's go through the list. We know Yoda's trash.
People
don't
still
think he's
like Yoda.
trash.
People still like
Yeah,
Yoda.
Yoda's still good.
People still like
Yeah,
Yoda.
but he's not picking. He's not. So old Legion, he was like top tied for top one. It was Yoda or Anakin. Like that was it. The even splits not there. You cannot convince me of that. Obi kind of snuck in on JR last year.
Sure. Yep.
So
I
mean, I know
definitely
people.
regret that argument we had where situational awareness that bit me in the ass.
Yeah, told you.
So
I honestly let's see. It's
I'll just say it's all of them.
21.
yeah,
No,
I agree with Nick. I'll
there's gonna
say
be
like one's gonna have like
there's gonna be
no.
one Obi-Wan. If that dude comes back, he's gonna come back with Obi-Wan. I'm gonna say he's gonna run it back with Obi-Wan.
You're right. You're probably right. He's probably gonna try to make
He's
it
the
work, get figured out.
he's the one in that 21.
Yeah,
He's just
yeah.
an Obi truther.
Yeah. So, but I'm excited, Nick. Are you ready to go? You all geared up?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Ready to go. Got my MCP roster together, so I'm ready.
Are you gonna play for sure on Sunday, MCP?
Unless I'm too tired, I am gonna go play. I'm bringing MCP. I have in the bag with my Legion.
Nice. Okay, so you were waffling a little bit on your list.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what you come up with? You don't have to tell us because this is gonna be posted.
This isn't
before
coming out
LVO,
till after LVO.
and I know
Oh,
how. No. I'm gonna post it before LVO.
We're posted before LVO.
I know how competitive Nick
Nobody's
is.
gearing up
He
against
doesn't want
for
no one to
Nick.
know his list. So.
No one's
Yeah.
ready for Jin.
the secret
and
the secret 3-3 list.
Yeah.
Well, my list name is Jin's Last Stand.
Ooh.
So I am bringing Jin. I decided I'm bringing Jin, bringing her. So yeah, I'm bringing. So
are you bringing Din and Grogu as well?
Yep, and Bad Batch.
Okay.
With Omega.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So I'm gonna bring her. Yeah, it's my counterpart list.
And
so
say,
you brought children to a battlefield, Nick.
Yep.
Typical rebel.
I'm surprised you haven't tried I-11 with Grogu yet. IG-11. I don't know.
Yeah, IG-11. Yeah. I have played IG-11, but I haven't played him with Grogu just because it's completely. It doesn't mix at all. IG-11 wants to stay back and shoot. Grogu does nothing if he's not at range 1 of a unit, and he can't even. So it's like with his power, like if I want to actually like suppress or mobilize somebody, so it made no sense to bring it. It made no sense. Maybe now you could bring it just because it's not so much of a hindrance like it was before, but yeah, this has really made no sense.
I mean, but it's bad. Isn't that kind of your stick?
That's not my stick. I want to play.
I'm teasing you.
I just want to play the models I like.
I'm teasing.
They just tend to be bad.
I remembered because me and John were having a conversation, and he's just like IG-11 with Grogu, and I was just like, oh yeah, that's a thing. Like I've never seen anybody put that on the table.
There's a reason.
Yeah, well, fair point. Just like Nick had said, it's not very good, but it's fun, right? Because one thing that John and Michael have been doing is they've been doing battle forces against each other. So like they did Tempest Force versus the Bright Tree Village, and then they did Blizzard Force versus whatever the Rebel one was. And it was a fun game to watch. And so like they're talking about doing a what's the one with Moff Gideon in?
Remnant
versus, and he's gonna come up with the Mando version of that. So we're kind of brainstorming that. I was like, oh yeah, you could do IG-11 with Grogu.
You just have to wait till AMG brings season 3 Grogu inside IG-11.
That would be cool.
Give him a command card that says no, and have it be like Luke Skywalker's I'm a Jedi. Just disarms everybody. No.
That'd be so sick. But yeah, I'm excited. Nick, awesome. I love your list already, even though I despise Jim. Unfortunately, I won't be able to play against her because we're in two different tournaments or
Yep.
whatever.
Oh yeah, I got to tell a quick story about that. So, because my kids were asking if I was going to play against you,
Mm.
and I was like, no, he's in another tournament. And my wife says, what? He's not playing the tournament you're in. I'm like, well, no, because so okay, because this year and she goes, wait, stop, no, thank you, and she just that was it. That was as much about she wanted to learn about the world that we're a part of. She said, no, thank you. You don't need it to go any
But
further
at
to
the end of the
explain
day,
what is happening with this. So
but
it's like,
at
okay,
the end of the day, Nick, all
That's
you
awesome.
need, all any husband needs is a significant other support to allow us to go do these things.
sure,
True,
sure.
true. That's why Katie and Nick's wife is gonna go to hang out when we're playing games because like they're not want to watch that our board moving stuff. I remember I had Katie one time watch me play a video game, and she's just like, ah, "You do a lot of searching." I'm like, "Yeah, you kind of have to find things. Like that's a little boring." Like,
They're gonna go
yeah,
watch Magic Mike
Yeah.
together.
I,
Thunder from
I
Down Under.
I asked her if I should buy her a convention ticket, and she's like, no, I don't need it.
Just sneak in the back door like everybody else did last year.
what I want to know, Nick, is your wife gonna let you or allow you to teach your girls to play these games? Because that'd be awesome.
Oh, they've played. I played X-Men with them, MCP. Yeah, so we've played some games. Yeah.
Okay,
See who
cool.
didn't say Legion?
Well, that's a lot bigger, and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah,
It's a lot
yeah,
daunting game. Like
yeah.
it's yeah. Cool. I'm excited. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Um, but yeah, anything you want to see, Jose, or expect to see? Like, are you gonna be watching the stream? Is the first thing I want to ask.
Oh yeah, I watch the stream every year. I'm looking forward to once again seeing my beautifully painted hard work on the table in your streams.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's
It's
always a
nice.
beauty.
It's nice whenever you're on stream and people are like, "Oh, that's so cool," and I'm in there like, "Yeah, that's me. I did that."
I don't know if you do go play next year, and even if you go play MCP next year, I think you should enter in the painting contest for
I
Legion.
am not good enough for that.
You don't know that. I
I've
think you're
seen
good
their
enough,
work. I've walked by. I'm not.
bro. You should still
I am
enter it.
not
I think
that
it's
good.
amazing. I think it'd be look good. Everybody's always giving me compliments.
Yeah, no. It's just it's there. It's the dope paint schemes that you think of, and
Hmm.
even my shadow clones. Like I get a lot of comments on, and that's what bum. That's another bummer. This was gonna be the first year I was gonna have the Terminator CIS squad, and nobody.
Yeah.
I and all of uh my Legion career,
Hmm.
I've seen all types of flavors of different armies, and like there's not like if somebody was to steal your CIS, we would all know it's your CIS because there's not another white CIS unit
Hmm.
I've ever seen ever. And I think the only thing that comes close to that in the terms of like that's wild is my chrome ballin T800, B1s. I was totally looking forward to bringing them this year. So it's like, dang it. But no, I'm nowhere near good enough to be in those painting competitions. And I'm fine with that. I admire other painters' work and
You're
I
tripping. You're
want
tripping.
to get I want to get there. I want to get there.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm
But
gonna do
no.
it for you one year.
Enter your
Yeah, I'm just gonna
army.
enter it in. And if you win, I'm keeping the prize, bro. Sorry. You snooze, you lose.
Oh my God.
But yeah,
But no, the event, what I'm looking forward to is just I want to see I want to see how like if they're doing two streams, right? One for the GT, one for the LIS.
No, that's what it seems
yeah.
like. It's
No,
just one.
I
It's
thought they
just
were doing two.
so is Imperial Goldfish doing two streams?
I don't
Because
know.
so it said that I could be wrong, but I could have swore it said we will be streaming all 3 days, all 11 games.
So
And so
David's not doing it this year?
I haven't seen anything from Yavin Base, so I don't know.
So this is my thing. I think it's only gonna be Go Fish. And I think they're gonna stream GT games on Friday, and then
Yeah.
switch over to the
That
IS
Okay,
on
because I'm
Saturday.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you the 11 games is how many games is happening each day, but not what both that's happening on Saturday,
yeah,
right?
yeah, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
I consider myself competitive, even though I don't say I'm like the greatest competitive player. Like I have no dreams or thoughts of ever making like a day three. I was shocked last year when I made day two. Like well, I know everybody made day two, but I was shocked to know that I was like one win, one loss off of competing for a day three. Shit, hell, even Roman was he 4-0, and then on the ladder he was like fourth place. Like that's it's crazy because you never expect that. But
Yeah.
I will never get to that point, I don't think. And 'cause I don't, like I said, I gamble too much, and I'm more of like I like to go against the meta than play the
So
meta.
why do you
Not
I go ahead, continue.
not that that's a bad thing, but I'm very interested to see the stream going forward with the iOS because I want to see how. Because to me, I get that there's Adepticon and Worlds, and Worlds is our end of the year or beginning of the year event for Legion. I get that that gets pretty sweaty, but like to me, I've always thought of LVO as like our Super Bowl, like Legion's Super Bowl. The best of the best are going to be there. So I'm very interested in watching these streams because I want to see how all these high level players that are going. I want to see how they play the new objectives and their tactics and how they roll with what they use to see just from that aspect. Because right now, like I know it's completely different than the way I approach these things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I go ahead, Nick.
I was gonna say because this I could be wrong. At least in maybe the U.S. Is this the first big tournament that we actually can watch the new objectives on?
No, I think there's been other
No, there's
streams
been other
that,
streams,
yeah,
but the level of
But
other
player, the
tournaments.
caliber of
well,
player.
I mean that's but big though, like a big tournament, like an Adepticon, an LVO, a Lone Star.
Did Lone
Well,
Star
I
stream this
think
year?
I definitely think on the west side. I don't know about the east side. I hardly keep tabs on the east side.
Well,
So
remember when the transition first happened, we had a month or two of tournaments that were just playing the
The old
old
way.
rule.
Yeah, they're playing the old way.
yeah,
Yeah.
So even if that happened, I'm pretty sure that those were probably big events, but they were playing old rules. For new rules, I don't think there's. I think this is for at least what I've seen, is gonna be the first like big like LVO, not LVO, but FLG, Legion big event that we're gonna see. And like I said, like I when I look at like names that I follow, like the guys from Notorious Scoundrels, guys that we watch and we've seen play. Like Worlds always has Luke Cook, Lila, all them like those names that you always hear that are always slugging it out in the top eight. Like I'm interested to see how that caliber of player tackles the game in this with this new game on that setting.
they, and that's what I think. You said you're a competitive player, and I think you could be great. The only problem, and that separates, Nick as well from being a great player, is that you got to not gamble and you got to do what's not fun. You got to do what's boring to discipline yourself to be like, yeah, that's not the funnest move, but that's the boringest move. But I'm gonna do it because that's the smartest move. In my opinion.
I think this is gonna be an interesting year for you though, JR, because and I don't know how your previous years have gone, but you know, in the previous LVOs you've gotten, your first couple games could have been against players that maybe aren't at your same level, right?
Mhm.
You know, like you play someone like me, your first round LVO, it's nice and easy breezy the first round.
Right.
You're going to go into the first round of the IS. I don't think you've really been in a tournament like this before, where these were all very, you know, at least these, what how people get in. They're very good players, at least
Yeah.
dedicated players, right?
Yeah.
Very good players, dedicated players, probably play their lists a lot. High quality players. What do you think about that? That it's not going to be. It's almost like this whole tournament is a day three.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, it's got me really nervous, but not in like a bad way. It's like I'm excited as well because I either A, gonna do really good in my skill base that I've been playing Legion for, or I'm gonna learn a lot this year because like I definitely consider myself a big fish in a small pond because our community is really small and I don't get a lot of practice time. But I'm eager to see what other players are doing around the world, or around the United States. Like, are they playing the same way that I'm playing? Are they considering the same things I'm considering? Or, it's just gonna catch me off guard. And I think that's the biggest thing is like the gotcha moments. How many gotcha moments are there gonna be? And I'm just like, oh man, I didn't even think of that. Like, that's one thing I do enjoy playing Rob, because Rob's like very much a rule guy and he likes to know all the rules. And so like when I play against him, we get in some heated arguments, and that's partially because like I don't know all the
Heated
rules in this.
discussion.
Yes, heated discussions, because I don't know all the rules yet in this version of Legion. Because I'm more of a player that likes to experience it and not just like read it and be like, oh, okay, just like, oh, that's a thing. Oh, okay, now I won't forget again. You know. So yeah, so it's a little of both nervousness and excited because I want to do really good, but I'm also eager to see where I am right now. So it's good. It's definitely gonna feel like my first LVO, right? I don't know what I'm gonna expect. I don't know how well I'm gonna do. I'm hoping for the best. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But Jose, we're gonna miss you, my man. Hopefully we see you next year.
I'll be there next year.
Yeah. Hopefully for Legion, because I know you're having a lot of fun
Well,
playing FCP. I'm just
no,
kidding.
no. So I was thinking about it, and what it is I just miss being able. Like I said, me and Nick are petty like this. We're cardboard fanatics, and I just miss being able to be like, oh man, this seems like a great list. I'm gonna play this. I don't have any cards for this, and I'm not gonna use my phone. So I think part of it now, looking at, like I said, I have been dwelling on it, is I don't have access to my 11,000 armies back there, and like I love playing CIS, but it's like with the new everything, like I'm watching these fun, funky lists. Like I got I got ATST, I got a Gav, I got 200 extra points in Empire. I have two freaking air speeders. I got 200 extra points in Rebels. Like, and I can't do nothing with, like, I have Cody and I have two freaking saber tanks. Like, there's stuff I want to try, I want to do, but it's like I don't have the cardboard for it.
See, but here's my thing about the cardboard, and I totally understand that, and I love cardboard
Yes,
too.
we know we're dumb.
No, I'm just saying like it sucks because that cardboard can be outdated within 6 months, right? If they change something new on the card. I almost feel like they should come out with an app and have like all the cards updated consistently on that app. And I know, I agree. It's not appealing. It sucks, especially when you're going to reference it. Like
But
it's
we've
better
we've
to
been
have in
doing that
person.
Well,
though. Like
yeah,
we've
no,
been doing that with the old cards. Like they did points cuts,
yeah.
all that stuff. So you get the real points on you get the real points on Tabletop Admiral, Legion HQ. But like even before these card packs, like we had physical cardboard that it said what it said, it did what it did. The only things that changed were the rules for the specific keywords and points. It's just having the physical card. As dumb as it sounds, like I'm with Nick on this, having the physical gaming product matters. And as stupid as it sounds, it does it does water down the fun factor when you don't have your cool, like I don't have my cool promos. I had nothing but promos, and I don't have that. Like I don't have cardboard. Like as stupid as that sounds, I don't have cardboard.
What are you gonna say, Nick?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I mean, and they don't errata cards too often, right? So they're not usually invalid within 6 months, because they actually try really hard not to do that, and they make a point of that, right? To not make errata changes on cards for all their games. They really only do it. They kind of only do it in like kind of emergency scenarios where they really need to do it. So once they get those cards, they should be good for a long time.
Sure, sure. I mean, if but like for instance, Cad Bane and Bosk, they were both in the CIS, besides Bosk, who was in Empire. Then they got a new card from Mercenaries. Now they should get a new card with a new art, despite if nothing changes, right? Um,
Well, there's
I
going to
don't
be
know.
another mercenary pack, right? So there probably will be another
Yeah,
card in there.
I just feel like I just like the idea of a living document because
But
like
is that an art change or is that a card change?
It might be a
Because
card
if it's just
change. It might be
because
a
if it's
card
just an
change.
I would say because if it's just an art change, then who cares about needing a new Cad Bane card if your old one is still.
Yeah.
well, that's what sucks is like the holographic Cabane CIS is kind of useless now. It's like nice trophy to have if you have the promo card. Um,
But at least they gave you a new card that you have. You have an official new Cat Bane card. It does exist.
sure, sure.
You didn't have to go print
Cardboard.
it. You had to go to print it.
Which did you guys see the little? It wasn't really a debacle, but like the update AMG did technically, which is what add the AR cards to the document for I
Yeah,
forget
for
what document.
the protocols, right? For
Yeah.
the card. Yeah, they made it seem like it was a new a new like whole
I
thing, and
was
that's
so
all it
excited.
was.
I
Oh
was
yeah,
hella
I
excited.
clicked on it too. I was like, oh really? I was like, oh really? Oh no, no, there's
It
nothing
was
on
it
there.
was my phone beeped and it's like posted 30 seconds ago. I'm like, oh, I clicked on it. I was ready to start screenshotting and sending it to
Yeah.
the chat. I'm like, this is it.
Well, this is where I think they should just do an app with the living app, is because what they essentially did was they made the AI cards, the prototype cards, and they're the size of a standard unit card,
Mhm.
right? Just like they've been doing with these new upgrades, they're making them standard size. So like that screams to me like them trying to save money in printing. You know, you got those promo cards that are tarot card size that I just think are awful. Like they just fit weird. I don't
Well, they
get
don't
it.
even make those anymore. Those weren't those FFG. Those weren't even
No,
AMG.
the tarot cards, the like
I don't
the
know.
the
Those
Ewok
came out like
skirmishers.
Uh-oh.
3 years ago.
No, which ones are you talking about? I'm talking about the Ewok skirmishers that came out last year. You know the tarot size cards, like the same size as the Shatterpoint cards, where you draw them.
Hmm. Yeah, but I don't know. What interesting.
Yeah,
I guess
and,
yeah.
and like I know there's a bunch of more promos. Like I see them on eBay and stuff like that. Um, and like that just screams to me like they're just like, yeah, just print it on this. We don't want another size because I'm sure that costs more money or change the size or anything. I don't know. I don't know how all that works, but like that's why I don't think they're gonna consistently print out cardboard because they're trying to cut back on spending because they just inherited all this debt.
Well, here's
I think it's more. I think it's more they forgot to put it in the box.
here's the thing that I
Yeah.
was laughing at. So I read on one of the posts that the new Aqua droids and the new Crab droids aren't coming with the AI protocols.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. They forgot to put them
So
in the box.
why my thing is, and it's always been this, and I know it's me being petty, but what if I'm new to the game? I want to play CIS. I get the CIS starter that comes with Grievous, B1s, all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, I want some Aqua Droids. I technically can't play them unless I print out the paper because I've never owned anything else that has AI
And
protocols. Like, is that
that's why
are they
that's
gonna
why
put
they
the
put
AI
them there.
protocols in the card pack? Are they gonna put the AI protocols in the new card pack? Because that would make sense.
I mean, it probably will be in future things, but that's probably
So
why they put it.
dumb.
That's probably why they put it on there because it is more of a technicality. But right, technically, if it's not print and play, you're supposed to have the official card, right? So this is so this is so somebody can print these, and it is okay that they're using that because it's an official print and play from them.
But yeah, honestly, like I've always hated
Put the
how
damn cards in the box.
yeah, I've always hated how AMG has dealt with Star Wars Legion. Like I said, I just
Well, this year's the
devastated.
whole new year, a whole new year this year. It's all it we
This
start
time
all
it's gonna be
over.
different, I
They
promise.
forgot about the protocol cards.
We haven't started over yet. We start over soon. It's coming. It's coming.
This is why I just think go to a living document, go to a living app, so
No,
that
no, they will because
the
they won't maintain an app. They're not going to create an app. That's never going to happen.
It's
It's
another
never going to
I think
happen.
expense.
that's cheaper than printing it.
For who? For them or for us?
I think for them, right? Because like, all right, bring it in workshop. You have more knowledge on this, Nick, right? They bring out books for all your army stuff. So like to them, that must be a cheaper option than consistently print out cards. You know what I mean?
But they make a bazillion dollars like
Yeah, but
a year.
they probably make a lot of money on those books. I don't. So what they've shown me, at least in the MCP and Shatterpoint games, is that they're not afraid to print cards and it doesn't cost them anything. And in fact, printing a bunch of extra cards is cheaper than trying to separate those cards into different boxes. Because that's the whole thing. They instead of making different language boxes and having to put the cards in each box, they're just putting it all in one box and giving you all that extra stuff because it's probably cheaper to do that. I don't think printing cards. I don't think that's probably a very small part.
Well, how do you explain the protocol thing? Like, I'm with Jose. Like, why is it in the
I
box?
I think I think that's just I think that's just more kind of stumbling through this transition. You know, anytime you are dealing with all these different departments in this long line to get a product made, there's going to be hiccups, there's going to be things missed, and on top of that, you're trying to bring out this new game, finish bringing out this new game with this new product while still kind of supporting the old game, while still playtesting models that are coming out 2 years from now. So mistakes are going to happen. I think they're probably trying to they've probably been trying to do too much because it's been way more than what they've had to do for Legion, right? I mean, doing this whole new system had to have taken a lot of man hours to do. So yeah, until we get like the new core box out, right, and the new rules and in a box, and I think it'll be a little smoother after that. I'm hopeful.
Well, we'll see, because recently or earlier this week, transitioning now, um, AMG gave us some info on 2 Star Wars Legion items.
Yeah.
First
Let's
one,
let's talk about the one that's less impactful first. Let's save the juicy one last. So we'll talk about the ARFs first.
So
Because
I have a
I
feeling,
I got
I
I
have
got
a
some
feeling.
thoughts on that sweet terrain pack. So let's talk
Okay,
about
all
the
Oh God.
let's talk about the ARFs.
He's gonna
So
use it for
yeah,
MCP.
let's talk about the ARFs. The ARFs look like they're going to be $55. They're coming out March 14th, which is also the terrain pack on March 14th of 2025. And from what I've been reading, guys, it looks like these guys are special forces units. So you have
They
3 of them.
mhm.
But
So they're
here's
not
where
gonna see
this,
the table because of
well, here's the
arcs
thing.
and
I don't know. They
commandos.
might be pretty good.
Yeah, here's where the speculation comes. There's going to be 8 miniatures in the model. It's enough to cover 1 special force unit. So here's a little like my speculation. Okay, I don't know how much you guys read about it.
I
Um,
haven't read anything.
so there's the heavy weapon, which looks like a rocket,
Hmm.
and then there's the leader attachment, which replaces your leader, is the Jedi, right? Which is cool. And rumor has it that they're supposed to be able to be slot in other units in
Now,
Star.
what you just said though, what you just said is speculation, right? I didn't see anything
Yeah.
that says the Jedi replaces the leader.
Yeah, it says it on there. It says, and I'll read the description right now. It says the ARF Trooper unit expansion brings the recon specialist of the Galactic Republic armies to Star Wars Legion. Joining the renowned troopers is a new Jedi Knight attachment for a clone trooper squad as a replacement leader.
Mm.
The ARF Troopers bring special abilities for deployment, setting up deadly ambushes, and support cover. Bring their thematic mechanics to the tabletop, joined by a new Jedi Knight model. This ARF Trooper unit expansion is great for hobbyists and games alike.
So, and but this is why I don't know if that means what we think it means. And I only say this because when I look at this box, who's the leader? Which model's the leader?
Yes, I thought the same thing.
So I think they're using the word replacement, not that it's replacing a Legion model. I think that they're more terms of just that this squad is led by a Jedi versus being led by a clone.
Well,
I
let's think. Oh, go
it
ahead.
could. So the thing is, like, when we get into to Jedi's, like Force users, like that shit is expensive. So it would make sense that this would be like a fives or like an Echo, like a leader. I haven't seen the box. I no, no, first I've seen the box. I haven't looked at it like in depth, but I mean, realistically, you know, Echo or fives replaces a leader, and he's just a phase 2 clone in clone armor. Like if you were to paint him, if you were to take fives and put him in phase 2s and paint that entire phase 2 unit white, like nothing about five says I'm a leader. He could be
Well,
a heavy, like
But
like
yeah.
his
but
designation
but
is a heavy, but he could be a heavy.
every box, at least I guess every box up to this point, the leader has always been distinguished.
Agreed.
Pointing,
Yeah.
binoculars, something different than and I look at this box, every unless there's different sculpts we don't see, which would be weird if they didn't show us that sculpt because there's duplicate sculpts on here. Every sculpt we see is just a guy standing with his
Well,
blaster.
Well,
I'm
here,
just thinking there should be an option where you can run them, you know, cost effective naked, which or heavy with a heavy or an upgrade unit, which would be the Jedi.
well, here's the thing though, is this is why I disagree with you, Nick, is because it literally says, and AMG gets things wrong all the time. It's very annoying. It says it's a Jedi Knight attachment. And if we look at the description of the contents of the box, there's the 1 unit card, and then there's the
Mhm.
3 upgrade cards. So my speculation is that there's the Jedi Knight attachment, there's a personnel slot to add an extra trooper, and then there's a heavy weapon.
The
Those are the 3
rocket.
upgrade cards. Which then leaves, because I agree, none of these guys look like a leader other than the Jedi Knight.
Mhm.
But if there's 3 upgrade cards and they're the ones that I just named off, that means this is going to be the first unit, and this is totally speculation, that's going to have 5 units or 5 miniatures in the unit, right? You got
Yeah.
the leader and the
Mhm.
other 4, which
And they could also have different poses for a leader mini.
I think is kind of cool. It'd be kind of cool to see, um, you know, Gar getting a 5 miniature unit.
Another
Just
strong unit. You
That
think it's great.
that can become 8, right? That
yeah,
could
yeah,
possibly I speculated it could become 8, which is kind of for special forces.
huge.
Insane.
That's really big, right? I mean, what's the biggest we have so far? Is only
9.
for
Because you
special
guys,
forces.
oh, sorry.
Yes, yeah,
It's
special forces.
Ewoks. Ewoks
Well,
is 9.
Ewoks.
don't count Ewoks. That's a little bit.
Oh
Don't count
god.
Ewoks.
He's not even
Remember-
talking about faction. He's saying special forces.
Until they fix it, we don't talk about Ewoks ever.
But okay, but like what I wanted to say was here's my theory though about them, and I could totally be wrong, is that I think this is going to be the first unit and guard that's going to be a white save, because in the actual box it says they are capable of delivering accurate information without alerting the enemy to their presence, and are outfitted with a variety of equipment and are occasionally accompanied by a Jedi Knight. ARF Trooper armor allows them to move quickly across the battlefield. So when I was talking to John about this, he was telling me that ARF are notorious for having lighter armor to move around. So I could see these guys, especially with their description of their deployment, having infiltrate and white saves and low profile, right? And maybe the Jedi Knight.
The Jedi Knight's gonna have to have deflect then, always on.
Oh yeah, it's always gonna have. It's gonna have
there has to be there has to be a reason for you to think twice about shooting them. I don't care if they're gonna have white saves, then
I agree with you. I think the Jedi Knight's gonna have deflect. I think maybe, and this is gonna be an expensive upgrade if it's true, is that if you put in the Jedi Knight, it upgrades the white saves to red saves.
Ooh, that'd be insanely more because if they cost it, I mean that'd be a huge total change in price.
Right. Well, I mean, what are our scout troopers right now? How many points are those bad boys? Just the base level.
Were they 48, I think?
So imagine these guys at 48 points.
Let's see.
Never.
But you slop in the Jedi Knight, who's
they're 48. Yeah, they're 48. Yep.
Okay, so 48 white save at base value, right? Of just the 4 units. These guys might be a little bit more because there's speculation again. Might have 5 in the unit to start off with. And then you put in the Jedi Knight, which arguably, if I'm right about the white save turning to red save, would be 100 points upgrade. That'd be wild.
Well, I think
that'd be super expensive.
Yeah, I think I think
why not take commandos and arcs then?
Well, because you got an infiltrating unit that I don't know. I'm assuming they shoot really good. That has deflect and probably has a Force slot.
I don't see them getting deflect. I don't think
Really?
that's gonna
I don't see him
happen.
having a force slot if you're
No.
gonna make the upgrade
And
for
no
the
force
guy at
slot.
100 points.
I don't think they're gonna have a force slot either.
That's a Jedi. They should have that. So them having a Jedi attachment alone is gonna not give them both, but it's gonna give them one of those things. They're gonna have a built-in deflect, or they're gonna have a force slot. Like there's no way
Yeah.
you can have a Jedi and not have
I,
either of those.
I'll say that it's not gonna have either. We'll see. We'll see. Well, I'll take the other side of that. I don't think they're gonna have either.
Either what?
Either deflect or force slot.
What do you think they're gonna have then? Just a powerful melee?
Yeah.
A Jedi with no force powers sounds like
Okay.
not.
Is there a Jedi Knight in Legion right now? Like, arguably Anakin, right?
Anakin. Well,
Yeah.
Luke, sort of a Jedi Knight.
Aside from Commander,
He deemed himself Jedi Knight.
they all
Yeah,
have
so-
deflect, right?
Yeah, but
So-
but we don't know this guy's name, so
Well, I mean,
Like
I
if
think
this was
I
a
think it's
Jedi,
generic, right?
if this was like a Jedi like a not Padawan, but like not a certified like knight, like we're thinking like that.
Well, it says Jedi Knight.
I know, but
So-
I'm saying like that's what I'm like if this was anything else other than a Jedi knight, if it's a Jedi whatever in the hierarchy, I would understand that it wouldn't have force push or something like that. But it's a
Well,
Jedi knight.
but
You're
the
gonna have force,
problem
but like
the problem is though, assuming that you'll be able to take 3 of these, you can't have 3 of those on the table. I
are you
don't
gonna
think.
pay if you're gonna pay for it? Now you're looking
yeah,
at like
if
an
you're gonna pay
8-act
100
list.
points, yeah.
You're looking at it like an 8-act
So
list.
I think we're also probably overcosting what we think. I think these are going to be way cheaper than what we think they're going to be. Look at Sleeper Cell. Look how cheap Sleeper Cell came out
Yes, I
and how
agree.
cheap they are.
Mhm.
Like why would
But
with
they don't
Sleeper
have a
Cell-
Jedi.
with the points, but I'm just saying. So if you look at like what I could pay for Rebel Commandos or what I could pay for a Sleeper Cell, there's no point to ever bring Rebel Commandos ever, and they share the same slot. I think, and then look at when Commandos came out, they were cheap, right? And they would have been points now, but they were cheap when they came out. I think these will be very competitively priced for when they come out. They're going to be like lower than we think they should be.
Well,
I just
I
need
mean,
to see them. I want to see their kit to see if they do enough to actually be in the conversation. I don't want it to be another Droideka situation where it's like, yeah, Droidekas are cool, but everything in that class is better. Like,
Well,
can they do something
here's
better
a-
than ARCs? Can they
here's
be
another
better than
argument
Commandos?
I'm going to give that it's going to be deflect. In the description, it literally says sets up deadly ambushes and support cover. If deflect does not support, I don't know what it is.
Built-in barrier.
That's barrier. Yeah, it's barrier.
It'd be cool. No, that's too much credit. I'm giving AMG too much credit.
He's gonna block. He's gonna have block. There you go.
Sure.
Don't know.
I can see block, but like as it sits right now, there's no Jedi Knight in Legion that has block. Every Jedi Knight has deflect, and I believe the only ones that have block are the ones that are not experienced Jedi Knights. Right? You got Grievous, you got the Inquisitors, have Commander Luke. Yeah, that's all that I know. Right.
Grievous isn't a Jedi. He was just trained in the
Well,
Jedi
I meant
Arc.
like that are
Lightsabers.
right. Yeah, like everything that's a Jedi Knight should have deflect, in my opinion. But regardless, what I'm really bummed about is it says on here in the contents, it's 1 unit card, so obviously ARF Troopers, and 3 upgrade cards. So that means that you won't be able to run this Jedi as a generic commander for Gar, which kind of sucks.
No,
You
that's a
don't
good
like
thing.
Gar anyways.
That's a good
You want
thing.
them to have
That's a
more
good thing.
stuff?
No,
Yeah.
if I could slot all these Jedi and a generic Jedi, I'm having just Jedi just run at you. That's all I'm doing. Just a bunch
They're
of
just
Jedi.
they're setting us up for Old Republic.
Oh,
Old
no.
Republic faction.
They're not gonna do that, but that'd be cool. Yeah. But I don't know, a generic Jedi Knight would be cool, or a general Jedi Knight, Jedi or something, whatever.
Yeah.
So, any more thoughts on these guys? They look fun. They seem fun.
No, let's move on to the important pack.
All right.
Yes.
Moving on.
Move
ARF
on to the
Troopers.
important thing.
All right, Nick, lay it on us. Give us your. Well, let me go over it first.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, unless you want
Oh.
to. Unless you want
Yeah,
to.
let Nick
Oh,
go
I
over. Let Nick go over.
oh, I can
Okay,
read it. I can read it.
Okay, go for it, Nick. Go for it.
All right, the Outer Rims Battles Terrain Pack.
Hear the passion in his voice.
It's only $60. And I'm not saying that sarcastically, as the last few terrain pieces I purchased have been 80 or 100 plus. So
Is that for Legion or MCP?
Shatterpoint and MCP.
Oh, okay, okay.
So it's only $60. You get one ruined complex, one crate pile, one wrecked cart, two mouse droids. This is three straight walls, three curved walls that are left, three curved walls that are right, and two towers. They're using the word tower loosely, I think.
Yeah, they very much so. They
Um,
look like lamps. They should just
It's
call
like
them
height
lamps.
one. Height
yeah,
one.
Yeah,
two like restaurant heat lamps that you put
yeah,
outside for
yeah. That's
for
what
the
they look like.
tables.
I was expecting towers.
So I'm excited for this, but then not.
Okay. First, give us your excitement, and then we'll go with your why not later.
So I'm excited that it's $60, and I'm excited about the amount of pieces you get in it, because
Yeah.
I mean it's hard to tell on just looking at the box, but if you like look at the box and you look at what they made on the box, but then that's not using all the pieces, right? I mean, there's a lot more pieces that you can use than what they're showing in that picture. So you can make like a pretty big wall, like a really big wall or a couple walls. That's kind of cool. That it does look like you get quite a bit of pieces in there. The bummer is that none of those walls look higher than a miniature.
Really? You don't think so?
Really?
You think they are. So
Yeah,
okay, I guess
yeah.
There could be a size difference.
I look at the wall. So the corner piece, yes,
I need to pull the photo
definitely
up.
higher, right?
Oh, you're
But
right.
that
Oh.
those wall pieces, if you look at the lamp, if you look at the just like how big a crate would be on the ground there, that doesn't look like a wall that's taller. So I hope I'm wrong. I hope
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
Yeah, I hope you're wrong too.
But
Yeah.
I don't know if I am. It looks shorter.
You don't think okay. They said now, I think our depth perception from this picture might be off a little because they're kind of cramming everything together. But they use tower for these lamps.
Yeah, but those don't look like towers.
No, they don't. They don't.
And here's the other thing too. They said this train pack works perfectly with the barricades.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what does that
Yeah.
mean?
You know why I'm now agreeing with you, Nick, is because if you look at the corner piece, you see the door that's kind of like been like cut off.
Yeah.
Oh no, I see it.
Yeah, that means that
Yeah.
door, the miniature size, yeah.
That wall is only like halfway up the door, right? That wall is like maybe like halfway up the door, which is gonna be lower than a mini.
Oh, Nick, you bummed me out so hard right now.
So
And those boxes are like the old crates from like Recover, huh?
Yeah. So that's why it's $60 and not 100, because it's not really line of sight blocking.
So would you rather it be 100 and add an extra 3 inches to the walls?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I was excited to talk about this because I was just like, great, a bunch of line of sight blocking, which I love. And now the realization
Your wall that we always talk about?
Yeah.
Your fictional wall across the middle of the map.
Now the realization is that Nick is probably right. This is gonna be a barricade.
Yeah. So
you paint it pretty though, Nick. You do pretty terrain.
Yeah, my only hope now is I maybe could stack them on each other. Could glue them on top of each other.
I don't think you can. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think I can. Maybe I can sculpt something. I don't know, but yeah.
You know what you're really paying for, Nick? You're paying for that corner piece. That's what it is. Remove that bucket, put that corner piece somewhere good.
Which doesn't look very big either. I mean, it looks like it's probably big enough to hide a small unit, but it doesn't look like you probably couldn't fit a 6-man unit behind there without being poked from the side. I don't know.
But to be fair, you shouldn't be able to hide a 6+ unit, right?
Yes, you should.
No, that's too much. There's too many bodies. Like something's got to stick
No.
out eventually.
That's just like a normal core squad with your guy in a heavy. You should be able to put that behind something.
You know how many times it's been so hard to hide B1s? Like it's ridiculous because there's so many bodies.
Well, you're usually more than six. You start with six. You're usually going up from there.
That's true.
My six is the max of, well, without doubling it, of a normal core squad.
So the question then is, are you still gonna get this with this new information?
So that's the tough part because so why spend 60 on this when I can go spend 80 and just buy another maintenance garage from Shatterpoint?
Yeah.
That is I don't know if you have you seen it in person yet, JR? I have one.
No, no, I saw you posted on
It's
the
amazing.
Yeah.
It's not only a really cool piece, but it's huge.
Mhm.
It's a huge line of sight blocking piece. That's very cool to even have on the table, and that's $20 more. So it's like
Yeah,
I'd
you're
rather
right.
just spend the $20 more and buy another one of those.
I'm so bummed. I was hoping these block line of sight. This would have been perfect.
I guess we'll see. Maybe, hopefully, we're wrong, and maybe
We're
it does,
not.
but I don't think it
We're
does.
not. We're not wrong. You're not wrong, in other words. It's okay though, because this year I'm gonna be working on my samurai terrain table. So look out for that in the future.
Oh,
Instead
God.
of working on your samurai train table, start learning how to place train on the table. That'd be
Shots fired.
that'd be more beneficial to the group than anything else. Every time you send those pictures, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, okay, here's a fun fact. All those pictures that I sent are none of those tables are built by me. I've been teaching Katie how to build tables, so that's partially my
Well,
fault.
that's
Yeah.
the problem then.
Okay, good. This is good because I need some effective criticism. What table did you see that comes to mind that you did not like?
All of them.
Well, give me, come on, that's too broad. That's too easy.
But if you didn't like all of them,
How about the Endor one where there was only 3 line of sight blocking pieces and they're all on the same side of the table?
So it's funny that you say that. So me and John have been having a conversation. We've been talking about blue player and red player, and I'm convinced that when you build a table, it should not be symmetrical or whatever. That there has to be an advantage to one side because there has to be an incentive for the red player to want to try to steal blue player away from you, or else then that whole aspect of turn zero doesn't matter, right? So I think, in my opinion, when you build a table, there should be like, it doesn't have to be a big advantage, but there should be a slight change or a slight advantage to one side to make that decision actually matter in turn zero.
But it can't be that decision can't be just so lopsided that there's no there's no line of sight on the other side of the table. I mean, there needs to be line of sight on both sides. Maybe put more on one side, and that just goes. I mean, I put way more than what most people put.
I love Nick's
So-
tables.
What are you talking about? Look at this end of the table. It looks amazing. You got the tree,
No.
get the bunkers, and this is one of the battle forces battles where they were doing the Bright Tree versus the Tempest Force.
And Bright Tree lost.
No, Bright Tree won. Bright Tree won. But yeah, this was going for more of a thematic approach versus actually putting terrain on the table like I would normally, because like I would spread out the bunkers a little bit more. But in this one, I was just like, I want the Empire to be on one side and the Ewoks to be on one side, right? And see, like, just have fun. And that's what they did. They have fun with it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So slight thing real quick. So I'm looking at the ARF Trooper box right now, and I know that do they show all the minis on the back of the box?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do. Mhm.
Yeah.
Because I want to say there has to be a different way to build a leader mini, because the guy in the art, the one that's pointing, that looks like it'd be a generic leader. So
Yeah,
I
but
figure I'm
prob-
hoping you can build that guy just
The
like
problem
that.
is that there's 3 guys pointing the gun. There's 3 guys with the guns down. And it's
But
just
I'm
like,
saying the arms, like you could make the guy that's pointing on the art on the box. Like
Yeah.
so see the ARF Trooper on the front of the box that's just
Yeah, the
standing there
art.
with like the long gun on the bottom left. Like you could easily change out the arms to make that pointing gesture and a different head. Like I want to say you can build the like you can build the leader.
I think they would have
Because
shown the model if you
well,
could
no,
have.
the reason I'm saying is because in the Wookiees, the Republic Wookiees, the chief captain is the same body that you make a bowcaster Wookiee out of.
So
So
those
yes,
those days are gone though.
no, but what I'm saying is if you build so the shitty part, sorry, Nick, it has to be said that way. The shitty part about the Wookiee box is if you didn't in your head already know how you were gonna play those Wookiees, you were gonna build Wookiees completely wrong because the first set of Wookiees I built A, B, C, D, E, and then saw that the long gun was an option, not its own chassis. And the same thing with the Wookiee Chieftain. The Wookiee Chieftain was also the same chassis used for the Bowcaster Wookiee. So what I'm saying is I'm hoping that one of these models is going to have an option where you can build your generic leader if that's so what you want.
But
Because
that's
it's hard for me to believe that Jedi is going to be the leader all the time because I feel like that should be one of the heavy upgrades. A lightsaber is a heavy upgrade, damn it.
so I'll be happy to be wrong, but that's not what we've seen with the last several releases. So that's what I meant by those days are gone. Those
Yeah,
days where you got that box with all those options, that is gone.
it was
Oh,
terrible
If we
though.
look at commandos, um what was the gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the support Empire unit that shoots at range 4. What are they?
Range
Range
troopers.
troopers.
Yeah,
Range
range troopers. One way to build them. Some of the models were exactly the same. Commandos, one way to build them, no options. Even the sleeper cell, no options. There are not options anymore in building these models that we're getting in these boxes. It is one way to build them and one way only. Unless it's a mistake that they didn't put the picture on the
Well,
website.
the
There
ARF
is
Trooper, the Jedi actually has different poses because when we watched the reveal, when they did the live reveal, they said and showed photos of different ways you could build that Jedi. So that leads me to believe that that should be the
I
same for the Leader Trooper.
I think that difference is only like the head. I think you could put a different
No, they were
head on
different
the
arms.
Jedi.
They were different
Yeah.
arms.
Well,
They were different
here's
arms.
where I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. Ewoks, right? Now, this is doesn't support the argument that you're making, right? Or me making the counter argument.
You're
Yeah,
helping my argument, right?
Are
kind
you
of,
helping
yeah.
him or are you helping me? What are you
I'm
saying?
doing both. I'm doing both, and I'm hope, but it's not a justified one to like be a good counter argument. It's technically the Ewoks didn't show on the box that they all could have a sling. So like the leader, you can clearly see the horn, and I think he had the spear. But in the box, you could actually have them have the sling, right? For the leader, so that way you could be the sling unit. But again, that box was designated to be 2 units that you could make.
That box is trash too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll be happy or wrong. I don't think there's a leader in this box. What we see is what we get. What we see on there is what we're getting.
WYSIWYG on the box.
Yeah. So, yeah, AMG, come on, man, do better.
Don't worry. You're gonna love them because they're gonna be priced to sell. They're gonna wreck.
Yeah, you know what? They're probably gonna have rest save, they'll have deflect, they'll have force push built into
JR's
him.
gonna be a guard player next year.
Probably probably Spur with incognito. So
Well, Nick and Jose, you guys will both be happy to hear that the guy that I go to for my medieval stuff already had a medieval ARF Trooper. So there you go. I'm gonna be rid of that one. And for when we were doing what was that game we were doing?
that me and you were doing, or a game you were doing?
Me and you, we were playing that.
You mean Stormtide?
Stormtide, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my miniature for the Jedi Knight. I'm like, yeah, there you go. So that's a cool way to put that in there. But yeah, they look cool. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Anything you guys want to add before we wrap this up?
No, I think that's it. I'm gonna go learn how to play Legion in the next couple of days. So excited.
Hopefully win some cardboard.
You know, I just think AMG is doing this on purpose so that way MCP gets all the love and then MCP takes over. I think that's the goal.
No,
Oh
no,
God, stop
I'm,
it.
I'm being biased. I'm being biased.
no.
But
Yeah, you are.
You just have to be patient.
I'm just gonna say good luck to you guys who are all going. I am
Mhm.
extremely jealous that you guys are going. But I will definitely be there next year, and I hope you guys kick ass.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, definitely good luck to you, Nick, and I'll see you Thursday. So anyways, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Jose and Nick, for joining me, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.